What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to a new episode of Transcending Culture. I am your host, James Johnson. By my lonesome for the moment. Kwueen is going to be popping in any minute now. And Tiffany, she has some things going on this evening, so she is not going to be with us tonight. But nevertheless, we got a really, really good show for you guys. We will get to some trending topics probably closer to the end of the show. I have I'm gonna say a really dope guest. I saw her story. I saw what she had going on. I thought that she was really amazing. And as you guys know, we try to bring on people who we feel is elevating the culture, doing good for the culture, doing something for the community, and obviously doing something for themselves. But her story, in some ways, it's not unlike stories of other people. But then at the same time, she does have a unique story. Uh, Single mother. She had her first child at the age of 15. Um, Listen, I know a lot of you know kind of the rigors and the things that can happen when you have children at a young age. So the really really cool thing about her is that she did not let it stop her. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's a lot of people, but it takes a lot to be able to move forward and do well and do good for yourself and also raise your child and really make an impact and a difference in the world. So she really really did some amazing things. She finished high school, she went to college, got her nursing degree by the age of 22, which is amazing. And she has gone on to launch her own company. She is the CEO and the founder of Living Your Life Without Limits. So she has been featured on Kelly Clarkson show. She has been featured on the Cassandra show. I do believe that I am saying that correctly, but again, very, very amazing young lady. And when I saw her story, I said I definitely wanted to bring her on to the podcast. So we're going to invite her in. Once again, if you are just now popping in, Kwueen is going to be on with me any minute. Tiff is not going to be here tonight, but I'm sure she's watching and she may be in the comments and whatnot. So please feel free to leave comments. You can throw questions in there and we'll make sure that we do ask our guest tonight. Also, please make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, and share. Get us out there. Get us on the algorithm. Well, we're on the algorithm, but get us out there further. We really appreciate you guys for tuning in with us every week. I know that we don't keep a constant, so we change a lot of stuff, very, very frequently, just because my mind works crazy, and everybody knows that. So, all that being said, I want to bring in our guest today. She is sitting backstage. She is waiting. And I'm ready to bring her in. I know she's ready to come on. She was super, super, super excited. I've been hearing from her publicist for about 2 weeks. She ready. She ready. She ready. So I want to welcome Shannon Jackson to Transcending Culture. What's happening? Uh-oh. Look, we have so many technical difficulties. So when I went out and I put the music on and everything, I muted you. And now I'm like,
oh. That's okay.
Because you know what happens, a lot of people don't realize it, but like with podcasting and the speakers from the computers and all of that kind of stuff, it'll pick up, like you go, and it'll pick it up, and it'll just sound crazy. So I usually mute people so that if they have clicking or somebody come in talking about, then you don't hear all that while the music's playing. Yeah. But welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, James, for having me. I'm excited and honored to be here with you and your fan base. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. I appreciate it.
I knew you were super excited. I was super excited to invite you on. And it's funny because your publicist, I really just am getting to know her. So
Brooke's amazing, isn't she?
She is super amazing.
Yes,
I'm like,
yes.
The day that we connected, I think she probably sent me like 3 or 4 press releases. And I was like, wait a minute.
That's my Brooke. That's my Brooke.
But it's cool though, because like the minute I opened the email and I started looking, I'm like, wow, like she got some really, really dope people. Like I want Shannon already. Like I want Shannon.
Well,
so
I'm glad
really,
to be here.
And while the cool thing is I have been in media for like 22 years. So I don't really have an issue with, getting people on the platforms that I have and whatnot, but it's always amazing when I can get people like you who I think are really like building and inspiring the culture, because that's a lot of what I really want to do in media.
I I
Feature
am
people.
honored for that. I'm honored to be on this platform, and I really enjoy motivating. I have a tagline. Fun fact she may have told you, because I'm getting back to get into it. I used to do consistent podcasting starting in 2020, just before COVID hit.
Okay.
And then last year, I took a seat back because we were very busy with the business building, which is a good thing, right? That's a good thing. Got to make some money, because I wasn't making no money on podcast. I was spending it in bed in there, but this business was booming. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I got to focus on this and get that money coming in here.
Yeah.
And so now
Makes
I
sense.
moved from doing it in one place, and we're kind of remodeling a little studio and office space that we have, so we can get back to doing that. So I totally get it, but certainly a novice compared to you, who have been doing it for
Oh,
22 years. But in that space, I have a motto that I use not only for that, but but my street love, which I'm sure we'll probably get into a little bit later on. That's
absolutely.
called motivation, education, and inspiration. Because that's what my intention and my purpose is, to do just that: to motivate, to educate, and to inspire
I love that.
individuals and businesses. And then the tagline of living their life without limits. So,
Yeah, I think that's really, really dope. I have always been fixated on the people who are motivating and educating and inspiring. And I talk a lot about that stuff all the time. And it kind of sucks, like, it kind of sucks a little bit in entertainment media, because it's not really where the clicks and all of that stuff are. So,
it
like,
doesn't.
you
It
find
doesn't.
yourself like really running like crazy and really trying to promote this stuff, trying to promote and
Of
get the
course.
viewers in and all that kind of stuff. But
You know what? What's so interesting about that, James, that you say that? That is so true. I mean, if we were gossiping, it'd be flooded, right?
I'm trying to
If
tell you,
we are
I'm trying to
talking
tell you.
about somebody, or we're doing music and you don't want me to sing, I'm dynamite in the shower, but I ain't got it that way. But anything that will lift people and bring them to a place of wholeness
Mhm.
is amazing to me, that it doesn't viral on there. But when you're in person, or you're one on one with people, or you in a crowd of people that's hungry for that,
Yeah,
that is magic, and they know they need it. And
absolutely,
that's what I love. And
absolutely.
that's my kind of party.
Listen, absolutely. So I think this is going to be cool. I think that tonight with this conversation, you're going to do just that. You're going to motivate. You're going to educate. You're going to inspire, and you're giving me a takeaway too, just on just maneuvering through life and maneuvering through the different things and the different hurdles that you come across, and your business, which is doing amazingly. And
Yes.
I just think this is all good. And like it always warms my heart to be able to bring people on like you, and where I can actually feel like I'm giving something back to to the industry and whatnot. So that kind of is why I have my own my own brands and my own network and all of that stuff, and I just kind of push my own thing. So you know how that goes.
I
When you
do.
get
I
your own,
do.
you're not running with the big wigs and whatnot.
That's
So
okay. But you know what? You're running in your authentic self,
absolutely,
and you're
absolutely.
reaching who you need to reach, and
Look
you're
at you.
doing something that is changing things.
Absolutely.
And what I love about this, Lord, look, don't get me started, James, because time and chance has a way of catching up with everybody. And the
Absolutely.
race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. But see, when you are steady, you know that tortoise and hare story,
I,
the turtle
yeah.
and the rabbit, you know what I
I,
mean? We're familiar with that from when we were children, right?
I,
And that rabbit was running, it looked like that rabbit had everything. Woo, he had speed, he had tenacity, and he was going. And somewhere along the way, he got tired. But here you got the turtle who was consistent. And that's what I see with you: consistency,
mhm.
persistency,
Thank you.
which I
Thank
call stubbornness with a purpose. You gonna land where you supposed to, but guess what? You gonna have longevity in it, because many
you. That part.
people bounce up and look like they get there, and Lord, their house was not built in stability and consistency. Yep. And when that fall happened, my God, it's mighty.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you be encouraged because you're doing a great work with what you're doing, and you're building on solid foundation.
Ooh,
and if people can stay in that.
We're going to have to do like
I'm trying to get out of this and let you ask the questions, because I don't want to just run off like the train. But let me let you go, because I can go.
We're going to have to add a motivation into the show, and you're going to have to do it, because
I can go there. People can just stay in their lane.
Right.
Okay? Stay in your lane and do what you know how to do, and use your own gifts and your own talent. You're going to get somewhere. I can admire and respect somebody, but God gave each and every one of us talents. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if we just stay within our lane and use our talents, your gift will make room for you, and it'll bring you before great men. It'll bring you where you're supposed to be, and your divine purpose, and you'll have fulfillment and happiness, and you'll be able to not only have enough, but more than enough, and be able to give back.
Absolutely.
And that's what we need to do. So absolutely. I love that you said I'm in my own lane, because Lord, if more people would stay in their lane and see what they can do, give themselves a chance.
Right.
Give yourself an opportunity to allow your own gifts to manifest.
I absolutely agree with that. I concur.
And I know that to be so, because I'm a living example of that every day. Lord, when I walk in the room, in my space, they know I'm there, and they're ready. And they're waiting, and they want more, because it's feeding them on the inside. What is more beneficial, that to feel somebody gratification on the outward, or feel them on the inside? That's a question for your viewers.
Absolutely.
What's more satisfying? What's more gratifying? What will bring you more joy? When somebody on the inside said, oh, that blessed my soul, that blessed my heart, that blessed my mind, that blessed my inside, because transformation is going to happen for that person.
I love it. I'm actually putting something in the comments now for people to drop questions if they have any. Where are you located?
Compton, California. Representing Compton, California.
I got some family out there.
Born and raised here. Put my business up here.
I love it.
But I service everywhere, because to God be the glory. In 2021, going to 2022, early part of 2022, my company became certified with the federal government as an 8A and woman-owned business, as well as the state of California and LA County, and for MTA to bid on federal contracting. So I can actually go anywhere in the world and do business in the United States.
Oh,
I shouldn't say world, but in the United States. So that's a blessing to do that.
That is beautiful. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we get into it. I kind of want you to get started. Obviously, I guess we're a little late with this, but kind of let everybody know who you are, and how you.
Okay. Do you want me to start a little bit on my beginnings?
Well,
just a little highlight of that, or you already covered that?
Well, actually, I'll just say, just kind of introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are. So we'll just start there.
Hello, family, because I call everybody family.
Absolutely.
James is family. My name is Shannon Jackson. I am the people's nurse. I am a registered nurse of 32 years, started at 1992, and now look at me, y'all. And I have to tell you, I think I'm aging backwards now. I am 54 years old, and I am the founder and owner of Living Your Life Without Limits.
Okay, so kind of take us, I won't say all the way, well, actually, yeah, kind of take us back to like childhood, like growing up. Where did you grow up at?
I'll give you the Reader's Digest version, because I know that's a lot to do. But born and raised in Compton, California.
Okay.
So I am still a resident here. I have actually two homes here. One I live in, and one, the house that I was raised in is now a rental home there.
Oh,
And I would say I was from a tremendously broken home because my grandmother, remember the grandmothers that were the matriarchs of the family? That's how I was. My family was originally from St. Louis, Missouri, and my grandma was from Memphis, Tennessee. So I was reared in Southern type roots. You had to go to church and you had to obey, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and you had to have that guidance, right? But they can't watch you all the time.
right.
So even though I was reared good, my father was an absenteeism father. He had his own issues and things, but I still had a very good structure at home. So I don't want to discount that. And I still had a relationship with my dad's side of the family. But I got pregnant at 15
Yeah.
with my first child. And the weird thing about this, James, my grandmother was working in family planning. Okay. And so I was so scared to tell her that I was pregnant. As a matter of fact, she told me first because I was on the couch and you weren't supposed to sit on the couch. That was for when you had company. You know
Right.
what I mean? I got to throwing up on the couch. And grandma said, "You're pregnant, aren't you?" And doing all this kind of stuff. Fast forwarding, 4 years later, and my grandmother and my mother said this, okay, we're going to help you, but you got to go to school and you got to finish.
Right.
And so back then, they had a teen mother's extension to the Compton Unified School District because if you're pregnant, they didn't want you to commingle, tank the other children, okay?
Mhm.
So I had my son, but then I continued in school. And that was a life changing moment for me because of the fact that the teacher that I had there at that Teen Mothers instilled in us, you need a vocation. Okay.
Mm.
You're having this child, you can bring the child to childcare and all that, but you got to get a vocation. So I started working as a CNA while I was going to school for nursing.
Okay.
Now I get in college, I graduate with the first child, and then 4 years later, I get another baby daddy. I said another.
I heard you.
I was looking for love in wrong places. Then I had to start looking at myself and say, okay, wait a minute, something wrong here. What's going on with you?
Right.
Because what I had to do is take accountability for me
Absolutely.
and stop blaming Tom, Dick, and Harry and everybody else for the
Mhm.
problem. It was something leaking in me.
Right.
So I said, all right, I got two kids now. I'm on welfare. I got to go to school. I got to finish this. I got to get this done. Now, mind you, I'm in college now, taking my prerequisites to get into the nursing program.
Mhm.
And then we were brought up in church, but I didn't have my own relationship with God until after that last child.
Got you. That makes
I don't know
sense.
if anybody can relate to what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I was brought up in church, but I did not have my own relationship where I would talk to him and see him as a comforter, as a provider, as a friend, as a console, so that I could quit making these same mistakes of bringing all these children here, no children father, and struggling. I was on welfare, and there were days where I was stressed out. One time I thought about committing suicide, the only time in my life, and God came in. That's why I said a relationship, and transformed my thinking of that. And I was able to get my mind right. And I went on a celibacy tour. For
So
so
kind
many
of
years, I locked it down. Yes.
going back a little bit. First and foremost, kind of talk about, so you told your grandmother.
Yep.
So obviously, everybody knows now.
Grandma,
What
mama. Mm-hmm.
what was the experience like, obviously now, having this child and still being in high school, and what grade were you in?
So I was 15. I was in the 11th grade at the
Yeah.
time when I got pregnant.
Okay.
It was scary. I was very scared and a lot of unknowns, embarrassed.
Yeah.
I think the embarrassment was more than the fear. I felt that I let my family down
Right.
and I let myself down, but more so my family, because, like I said, even though my father was not there, I didn't feel brokenness. It like my grandmother was my mother was single raising me at the time, and my sister, 7 years under me, was still fairly young at that time. But how did I have this? How did I bring shame and embarrassment on the family? So I hid it for a while, and I was very, very embarrassed. But and I was the first one of my generation of the close people within our circle to have a child like that. So it was a little odd, and embarrassment and shame is what I felt.
No, I get it. So what do you think it was that took you to that place of wanting to suicide?
Because it was hard. It was hard because I was struggling. I'm on welfare. I'm studying. I got these kids because I got now not one, I got two. There's 4 years between my daughter and my son. I'm trying to get through school, and I'm trying to get my head together. I don't really have what I need because
Yeah,
I created it. They give you food, they give you more food stamps than money. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to do it, and my own thoughts is thinking of my thoughts, and loneliness and
yeah,
stress and
absolutely.
pressure. All those things were knocking there. And what happened was I went to Bible study one night with my mom and my aunts. But before going, I took a bunch of pills. I went in and took some of my mom's pills, and I don't even know. I just grabbed some stuff and just put it in my mouth. Just
Yeah,
take it. And I sat at the back of the church, and then all of a sudden, I started feeling woozy because I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm tired. I'm tired. And as God would have it, was a night that I really felt the presence of God in my life. The shame was lifted from me, and I felt healed. And that night they had prayer. I didn't go up for prayer because I was sitting in the back and I was feeling whatever. But the pastor and the saints came to me. So I felt it was a spiritual thing that happened.
yeah.
And that night I threw up all the pills, and I cried like I had never cried, James, before. When I say a hard cry, on the floor, rolling on the floor, crying. Like I cried for so long that they just held me and let me weep. But the next day, something happened within my mind.
It's like you released all that though.
I let it all go.
Yeah,
And I never from that day forward, to God be the glory, ever thought about suicide again. And like my mind became more determined and more focused. And I was just running for my life, running for my life, and running
listen.
for my kids. And I had a new purpose in me, but I had to let everything go. It
Yeah,
was a release that I never felt before. When
absolutely.
I say a hard cry, I was hollering, crying. Like you'd have thought somebody had died. Well,
Right.
I did. I died.
Yeah,
I died. I released me, the hurt, the pain, the rejection, the loneliness, the low self esteem, what I felt about me, I had to let it go. And a new Shannon was birthed with determination and focus. And I was able to graduate with them two kids at 22 years old as a registered, the youngest in my class.
that's
And
beautiful.
I was an assistant nurse manager at 23. So I went into the management field at the age of 23.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So what was the feeling, obviously of completing all of this, reaching these milestones in your life, not just with it being at such an early age or such a young age, but also given life, you kind of living life now.
I have so much gratefulness and thankfulness in my heart. That's why I give back. That's why I pour into others, because I can see myself in people in their journey from the single parenthood to struggling. I've been broke, busted, disgusted. I had to file bankruptcy over a little old chain because I hadn't had none. I let a girlfriend of mine use my credit card because I was so, there, and she didn't have no money and I couldn't afford to pay it. She couldn't afford to pay it. bankruptcy over that little old money. Just,
Yeah.
making stupid mistakes. Just stupid
Yeah.
mistakes. Stupid mistakes.
But
And just,
the beautiful thing is you learn from that though.
I
Like
did.
you learn from it.
I did. And the tools that I learned about perseverance and accountability and determination and believing in yourself and perfecting your skill were all from the ashes of the things that I had gone through. And one of the greatest rewards, that's why what I love so much about when I went into leadership. So I went into leadership at that age. And what was really funny about that, a person that put me into leadership, real quick story. I used to work the night shift because when you were a new nurse, you had to earn your wings, and everybody worked nights. You didn't get a
Mhm.
choice for days or evenings. And she came in one morning early. Her name was Gwendolyn Moore. God bless her. She's gone on. And she told me, she pulled me in her office. I thought I was in trouble. She said, I see something in you, and I want to groom you as my assistant nurse manager. I looked like, who's she talking about? Don't you know I just graduated a year ago?
That is beautiful. Just to cut you just for a second, Cat Queen just popped on, so I'm gonna bring her up on the screen.
Hi, Miss Cat Queen.
Hey,
Hi, Miss Cat Queen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
good,
I'm
good.
fine. Thank you.
Welcome. Glad you're here.
Hello, glad I'm here too. I'm sorry, I just kept having technical difficulty after
I,
technical difficulty.
look,
Um,
we had plenty of them, so
I did too. James
it's
helped
just
me get going.
one of those days. But I was definitely watching and listening to the conversation and things like that. Um, so I did have my own questions for you
Yes,
and just
yes.
wanted to connect with you just because I kind of connect with your story.
yeah, go ahead.
Um, I am a single mother as well. I am a single mother to a child with autism.
Hmm.
So I have my own, hurdles and
Very.
battles with that.
Yes, yes. I have a
Um,
nephew who has autism, so I know. Yeah,
it's becoming so prevalent not only in our community but just all around the world.
absolutely.
So I definitely dealt with things as far as trying to go through school and just like trying to just grind through and I definitely identify with your testimony and trusting in God. What would you say to women that were in your position, that were in the throes of it, that are trying to get through those degrees and they're trying to climb the ladder as well as take care of their children? What would you say to them?
The first thing that I want to say is one, congratulations to you, because it's not an easy journey. And I think that you have to first begin to look within yourself and know you can do it. You got to look within yourself and say, I know this is difficult. I know this is tough, but you know what? I got this. I can do this. And every day, one day at a time. And when I begin to process one day at a time and celebrate the wins as I went along.
Mhm.
And sometimes we're so busy looking at, I got this to do, I got that to do, I got to feed the kids, I got to do that. We don't take time to even appreciate what we've accomplished to balance it out. So I would tell all my single women that have children that are balancing, be it young children or older children. Sometimes it's women that have husbands or partners and they're the provider. Maybe they don't have a job. So everybody's leaning in on them.
Mhm.
So self-care of mind, body, and spirit is so important. Taking a day or 15 minutes to just love on you and talk to you and speak life into your own self, because the words that you speak carry weight and power about how you view yourself. That was how I got in the problem in the first place. I said low self-esteem.
Mhm.
I
And so
wasn't
many people,
bad on the eyes or anything, but I didn't view myself in the image of feeling good about myself. Yes,
so
James.
I was just gonna say, so many young women are dealing with that, like the confidence and self esteem, and there's so many people dealing with that.
And you have to set goals and priority and make them realistic for where you are in your life. When I first graduated as an RN, I went to a junior college because the license was the same no matter where you went. And so I did that. And then immediately after doing that, I went back to school a year later and got my bachelor's degree. And then right after that, I went and got my graduate degree. So sometimes you can look and see, because everybody's circumstance is different. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. You're not in a race with nobody but yourself. And you have to identify what is the most important thing for me. With me understanding I am important. Me, the mother, the mama. I got to take care of my mind and body so that I can be here to nourish and water those children, finding something in a sense that makes me feel good about me. But most of all, me speaking that over my life and setting priorities, because you can't do it all. Did I answer that for you?
Yes.
Because we try to be superwoman, don't we? We try to do it all.
Listen, we try to be. I'm definitely guilty of that. I have a hard time asking for help, or I'll suffer in silence, or I'll be like, you know what, I just do it. This is my child. I made this child. I'm gonna deal with it. And that just seemed like it just dig you in a deeper hole.
It does.
So you do have to reach out to your resources and stuff. And I definitely identify with what you said about celebrating those small wins, because especially with my daughter, I've been dealing with some issues with her as far as, getting her health care, getting her in with the right doctor, getting her, this procedure, that procedure. That's a process, even for
Yes.
a typical person.
Absolutely.
And so I ended up getting that done. And once she was healthy and stuff, I'm like, okay, well, I got to work on this. And I was talking to someone yesterday, and they said, so you got her dental surgery, you got this stuff done. Congratulations. I know you were working on that for a year. You were working on that for a long time. You were calling and stuff like that. Congratulations. I was just like, I didn't even take the time to celebrate that. I didn't even take that time to say, hey, I solved this problem. I did this for my child. I went over this hurdle. I'm worried about the next hurdle.
Right.
And so I couldn't even find that joy in that moment. And so I had to really take a step back and be proud of myself and say, I really did something, and I'm proud of that. You may have been a small win or whatever in somebody else's book. For me, it was everything, and especially to my daughter, I know that was everything as well. And, James came and visited us after my daughter's surgery, and she was laid back with her mouth open. It's definitely important to have good people, good community, good friends, good family to be there for you.
Absolutely. And lead into your support system, like you said. But Miss Cat, I want you to just take a moment and bathe in that. And just close your eyes for a moment and take two, 3 deep breaths and exhale that and image what you have accomplished. Take that in. Bathe in that moment. Because if you can do that, the next thing you can do too. Come on, let's just. And release it. One more. Now, image what you accomplished and do one more breath before you open your eyes and release that. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
Good. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel appreciative.
And letting it go to say yes. And that's how we have to do it. Sometimes we got to pause and just breathe. Breathe. Ladies, just breathe. Breathe. And know there's another day. I just did this. It's great. Let me just live in this moment. I accomplished that. And then you go to the next thing. Don't try to overwhelm ourselves. And as I matured and developed, I teach a lot of leadership and motivational and employee engagement classes and different things like that. And you'd be surprised how we just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And sometimes we just need to breathe. Breathe and just take it one moment at a time, because it brings clarity. it brings a pause and we get off of the wheel. You know what I mean? Just running and running and running, and find something to say, you know what? Life is good. I can do this. And guess what? Each and every one of you that may be going through a struggle or a challenge, you can do it one day at a time. You have to have a plan. And when you make a plan, you got to execute it. That's where a lot of us fail. We have a lot of things. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I was teaching a class. We was doing a conference about a year ago, and I had a room and I did this exercise with them. And I said, okay, write down 10 things that you want as goals. 10, I gave them the paper, gave them pen, write them down. And people was writing. You got your 10 things down? All right, now flip the 10. Look at that list and put one thing down out of those 10 that you absolutely are passionate about, that you are going to stick to, that is intentional, that you want to accomplish out of that 10. Now create a plan for that one thing. What is, people, family, what is that one thing that you want the most right now? What is that one thing? And out of that one thing, are you willing to put the time and the work in and intention to get that one thing done? That's what I had to do. Before you move on, put the effort in. And you know what I said to people with social media? I know we got to be on. I said, but if you spend 90% of your time on social media, 10% of your time on that one thing, you ain't going to move the needle.
Right.
The needle ain't going to move unless that's your business, social media. But if you just on there looking at the food and laughing at the jokes and looking at that and just spending past time on the job and all that, you ain't going to get to that one thing.
So I have one question to ask you.
Yes.
And this is something that I'm dealing with myself.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you keep going when it feels like roadblock after roadblock, or this happened or that happened, and it's like you just trying and you lose out on something and you take 2 steps forward and 5 steps back, and you just like, I'm trying here, Jesus, now come on, Jesus, now I told you to take the wheel, and I don't know if you're veering or what you're doing, but what I'm trying to do, it ain't working.
It ain't happening.
So how do you keep that passion, or how do you keep just from feeling beaten down by life and circumstance?
Having a mindset, a mental mindset that locks you in that it's going to happen. And that can't change. You have to have the power of if and yet. I haven't yet. Can you add one thing that you want to do and say it hasn't happened yet? Because what that yet does is let you know it's just not the right time yet, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And understand every denial or delay doesn't mean it's not going to happen yet. So every disappointment, because I've had disappointments, I've had setbacks. I thought I should have been more further in certain things right now. Even though I'm moving, I'm like, but I ain't arrived where I want to be in my goals and my expectations. But you're moving. So you have to keep the same mind in what you say and believe in your mind and your thoughts. No matter what's happening, you still got to have the mind it's going to happen. But Shannon, it hasn't happened yet. I've tried this, I've tried that. Well, those weren't the doors, but then learn from that. What could I've done different? Have you ever looked at an opportunity that maybe didn't go your way and examine and say, what was different about it? Or move differently the next time? Am I doing anything different to move me to the opportunity? Or am I using the same tactics over and over again and expecting something to change? Or is it my outlook in it, my perspective in it? Because some doors and opportunities that I knocked on, that I cried over, Lord, I cried over. I'm going to tell you one thing that happened when I was them hard cry. So I was the chief operator. I'm gonna tell you a story and try to tie it into something real quickly. I was the chief operating officer, chief nursing officer when I was about 28, 29 years old. I think it was about 29. So I was running hospitals. But I should have been the chief executive officer for that because I was qualified.
Mhm.
I was experienced, and I was seasoned, but they brought a Caucasian male who was least experienced and least qualified over me. And they're bothered. Why? Why did that happen? I behaved, I performed, I delivered, I did everything I was supposed to do, and yet they kept me here. It wasn't time yet. Can we live in the moment of continuing to do what we need to do and perfect our gifts and crafts, or perfect what we're trying to do, continue to seek, continue to work on it, continue to do the things that we need to do, or re-examine our circle, re-examine how we're moving, re-examine who's in our life until the moment and opportunity come, but keep the faith until it happens. See, time and chance has a way of coming together. Now, fast forwarding, in 2019, y'all may fall out your chairs, but I'm gonna tell you this: before 2019, I had a job that was paying me $250,000 a year. They gave me a bonus every year. They gave me a car allowance, and they paid full for my benefits. And I quit that job to go and be on my own full time to open my own business. People think I'd be crazy. What? $250,000? What? $250,000?
Cat, she just don't know. Go ahead. We listen.
200.
I was like, it sounds familiar.
I'm going to be my own CEO and do my own thing. And that's how Living Your Life Without Limits became birthed. That was the DBA of the company. The company was open in 2002, and I let it lie dormant because I was building everybody else's company. But then I began to say, okay, Living Your Life Without Limits started with me. How am I take the limits off of the possibilities in my life? If I can do this for somebody else, why can't I do it for me? Mm-hmm. If God can bless me to help others, why can't he bless me to help me? So Miss Cat, for you and where you are right now, it's not that it's not going to happen. It hadn't happened yet. So I want you to keep in your mind that it's going to happen. Whatever it is that you're desiring or that you're working on, that is going to happen. It just hadn't happened yet. Now, examine how you're moving and what you're doing. Is it anything that I need to change in preparing for this? Is it the circle of people? Sometimes we got to let some folks go. Is it my own mind, just keeping that confidence in it? Or is it I'm just perfecting what I'm doing and the right opportunity and door hasn't met itself? And only you, the individual, know that. It could be a combination of all those things. But understanding, keep going. It's going to happen. And having that mindset that no matter what, it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's I know. I have people that tell me you have to speak it like that because our words have power, those self-fulfilling prophecies. And I know sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll never do this. And my sister be like, don't say that.
Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You got to watch what you're saying over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was funny hearing your story because I was like, is this James' story? James didn't.
Well,
and I didn't know that about James either.
Yeah, what she's referring to is I wasn't making $250,000, but I was making a really good amount of money, and I walked from my job to just launch my media stuff, and it's been up and down. I've never really been, as crazy as it sounds, I've never really been one that's chased the dollar. Right. So to walk away from it, I just was like, okay, I'll just have two jobs, or I'll figure something out. So that my thing was just that I wanted to do media full time, and I really had kind of gotten out of kind of working with. I don't want to just say the big wigs, but like I worked with Radio One for a few years. I did some work with WKYC here in Cleveland. That's the NBC affiliate. So I worked with them a few years, and I've done some freelance work with BET, but that actually was through my company. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that that actually was a good thing. But I really got out of the space of wanting to work for somebody else and fulfilling their dreams and not really fulfilling mine. And I was in management as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, you quickly learn that they don't really care about what it is that you feel like you want to do and what's good for you. You are there to serve their mission,
That's
and
right.
you better do it right.
Right.
And with honestly, when it came down to the BET stuff, it was like doing red carpet. So it was always like my thing to work for BET, like growing up and when I graduated high school. Um, so when the opportunity came, it was just like, okay, I got to do it. And they got to in the hospital, they got to the place of like ultimatums, and we got to pick one. And I just said, well, I picked me and quit. And it, I look back at it, and while I don't regret it, I think I could have did it better. I mean, I literally just put in a 5 week notice and didn't have a plan and walked in, just kind of figured it out. And by all means, that's not the best way to do it. But I just in a space of like being miserable and knowing what I wanted to do and not being able to do it because I just didn't, logically, I didn't have the time to do it because I was working full time at the hospital. Um, and money was scarce and low, and I just was like, there's a lot of stuff that I can't really do unless I leave. And now they're saying I got to pick one, so I'm gonna pick me. And I think that's a good place to be in yet and still, when you pick yourself and, just kind of figure it out. And I truly, like, I'm a firm believer that things fall in place. Some checks came that I don't know where they came from, and they just came right on time. And when I tell you that I wholeheartedly believe in that, when you
Right.
praying and you got things that, need to be paid and stuff that needs to come through, I think that miraculously, things will happen. If you have that faith and you pray on it and doing right by people. And I mean, there's a whole lot that goes into it, obviously, but I wholeheartedly believe it. When you have faith and you praying, and because again, some money that came at times, and I'm like, I don't know, but I'm cashing it before they cancel
That's
it.
right. That is so true. And James, listening to your story, it's what people have to understand in that moment of waiting, it's preparation. So
Absolutely,
when you launched where you went, and I and others that have gone on their own journeys, you got to realize you're perfecting your gift or craft if it's that you're launching or whatever it is that you're in.
yeah,
That time of waiting where you're still not there, take advantage of it and
absolutely,
hone in on your skills or your talents or believing in self-esteem, confidence, or different things to bring you where when the moment presents itself, you're ready for it. And people like, I was born for this. No, you were made ready for it because of the time and the sacrifice and the suffering and the preparation that went in the backside of the desert. Nobody talks about the backside of the desert, but there were trials and different things that you were going through that when the moment came, you were able to seize that moment because of your preparation. So I encourage people that in those times of waiting for whatever it is, or you're feeling discouraged, don't be wary. Don't be discouraged. Use it as a time to work on yourself, love on yourself, be
absolutely,
kind to yourself, and make that plan and perfect it. Perfect it. Certain things that I used to do, I had to change the way I moved to get to where I am. You evolve. And it's nothing wrong with evolution as long as it's taking you forward and bringing about positivity.
hmm absolutely. I totally believe in that. You got more questions, Kat?
I'm just over here getting took to church. I'm sorry. I'm just I just really been trying to get some stuff off the ground for myself, and it just seemed like stuff is just every step of the way. Things is like this but it's like almost like a door shut and a window open. Like, okay, something bad happened, but then something better happened, something good happened. So it's like it's little steps. I see that it's happening, but it just didn't happen when I expected it to, or as fast as I so called thought it was going to happen. So
Yes.
I'm just learning to be patient. I think I really needed to hear some of the things you said today,
Yes.
to just definitely be appreciative of where I'm at, where I'm going. And, just understand that it is a journey, like you were saying, and I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm not, I just want to be better than what I was yesterday. And I'm already doing that. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So you got this, Kat. You got this. You got this. And you know what? And we waste so much time, and I did too, until I matured in that area where we stress our own stuff out. We be imagining stuff that's gonna happen that ain't nowhere in the universe. So casting down all that, the Bible said, casting down every imagination, every negativity, I'm paraphrasing, that have exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bring into the obedience the captivity. So you begin to speak what you want it to be, where you are over yourself. Whatsoever things that are true, whatsoever things that are lovely, whatsoever things that are honest, whatsoever things that have a good report, think on those things. See yourself victorious. See yourself healed. See yourself walking in the expectation of what you're trying to work on. See your daughter growing in grace and strength. It's just, you have to see it there, and not for a moment. No matter what, when you get up in the morning, you got to believe it. I love this one thing, and I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. Where when the Jesus was there among the people, Lord, what it would have been like if we'd have had him in the flesh, y'all. And he went to the man. He said, "Do you believe I'm able to do this? I'm able to heal." Boy was falling and foaming at the mouth and all that. He said, "I went to the disciples, they couldn't heal him." He said, "Well, do you believe I'm able to do this?" He said, "Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief." Sometimes you got to say, "Help, help, Lord, help, help my mind,
Yes.
help my thoughts."
No, for real.
And you know what? He'll help you. If he got to bring James on the phone, say, "Hey, girl, how you doing today? I'm just checking on you." Because help come in different ways. Isn't that right?
And that be James all the time.
Hey, how
That
you
be
doing?
James
Or you
tracking me down.
go to the coffee place, somebody say, "Girl, you look so nice today." And you're like, "Oh, really? Oh, that's just a little thing, you know." Or somebody say something and they don't know they said something that meant everything. It was maybe something random that they thought it was. But that moment, or something they spoke into your life at that moment, that took you through. So help is all around us. We just got to embrace it. And it comes in different forms, in different ways.
Powerful.
So, in your work as a nurse, you were one of the frontline workers when you.
I did. Yeah. That was something that I enjoyed. Yeah. And I'm still very skilled and astute as a nurse, even though I work a lot in leadership now. So when the governor had, from New York, we're talking about the COVID time, and he was on the TV asking nurses, remember that, you guys, come help us in New York, New York. I actually did a video on that where I had a video of me and other nurses and showed where they had came from to help in New York. When I went there, my orientation, and let me tell you a fun fact, I had never been to New York before that had happened, ever. So I still feel I don't know New York, because when I went, it was nothing there. My orientation to the hospital was, "Thank you for coming with all these other nurses. Now y'all keep them alive." I was like, "What? We do it? We're really gonna do this now, right?" Right. They had over 1,000 ICU patients. Wow. On ventilators, but we didn't have 1,000 ICU beds. So we were taking care of patients all over the hospital that was very sick. But what a blessing it was to be able to serve during that time. And I didn't come down with COVID either. I came home negative. My family was so fearful. They thought I was, "What's wrong with her? The girl is going crazy." They were calling people on the phone, "Talk to her, talk to her, talk to her. What you got?" but I felt a calling and a leading, and I came back just fine.
Yeah. What, like, how long were you over there?
2.5 months.
Okay.
I was there
Wow.
2.5 months. I worked 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, 6 days
Yeah.
a week. I had one day off.
Wow.
Mhm.
You've done some really amazing things. Before we actually, before we close out, I really want to get into your organization that you launched. Once you got
Yes.
your university degree. So talk a little bit about that and how you got started and the inspiration behind it.
So this is a great segue because it's called Street Love, and it's a community outreach. It's not even a nonprofit yet. Eventually I will, but that takes time, and I'm busy building the business right on this side. But it actually happened because of COVID. When I came back from New York working over there, and I saw directly and worked with people in the hospital and the devastation on our people, our community people, our people, and black and brown, and how people with diabetes and hypertension, and seeing it firsthand and seeing these people just come in and die, and or either those that made it out. My God, they were in the hospital for months. I came out and I said, I need to do more in the community. And I began to go from city to city, um, providing wellness boxes, wellness material, educating, motivating and inspiring. I mean, giving blood pressure machines, food, feeding people, educating, all kind of different things in the area of health and wellness. And we film so much of it, but I still do it today. I don't film everything right now because I'm not podcasting at the moment, but I still do it today. I just went to gave out a bunch of wellness booklets, health and wellness booklets that I gave out for men and women about annual physicals and things that they need to do to keep their bodies together. As a matter of fact, James, I will be honored if you send me an address to send you some to give to your people. So you can give them out, and I don't know however way you want to do them, but I'm all about giving things out to
Yeah.
people. So it's very, very important about health and wellness and being preventative. And so when I came back, I did a lot of work and still do stuff today for different ones, teaching and different things like that.
Yeah, I absolutely will. Um,
Please, you have my email, so send me your email address and I'll get them out to you in the mail.
oh, don't decline my email now. Don't be talking about you don't know me when I send it.
Oh no, you don't. You'll never get that from me.
I know. I'm just talking junk.
But I know how it is. Yeah, I've had that happen. People say, "Call me," and they like, "Huh? Who? What?" I said, "Call you." Right, right, right.
So, I was gonna ask you, living your life without limits.
Mhm.
Kind of go into that.
As I said, that came. It was an aha moment for me. I was driving in the car one day. I get a lot of inspiration when I drive,
Yeah.
uh, because a lot of the work that I do, I travel a lot for working, and sometimes I'm in a car 2 or 3 hours by myself, and so a
Yeah.
lot of things come to me. But that was after I had already quit the job and started building, like restructuring the business. And when I was in the car, it was reflective and it was with intentions. Living your life without limits came up. And it was first starting with me that I had taken a leap that I had never done before. Going into business for myself was the greatest faith leap of my life because you leave something of your stability, right? What you know, to go out into something else so that I could fully live my life without limits and embrace my gifts and the intention. And I know I'm walking in my gift, pouring back into people, motivating people, educating people, inspiring them, not just in the area of health and wellness, but in self confidence, self esteem, and speaking back into the lives of people and giving them tools and resources to do that. And taking the limits off. And it started with me being more healthier of myself. You'd be surprised, many healthcare providers are not as healthy. They're not as well because they don't take care of themselves because we're so busy taking care of others. And I have aged backwards. I should have had Brooke send you, and I'll send you. You can share it with your people later. I was trying to find it now. My before and after picture of me. I have a side by side of me when I was in my younger years and me now, and you wouldn't believe it was me. But that I took that literally. Living your life without limits is living a life full of health and wellness and aspiration. Being able to go where my mind can go, I can go there too. Not putting boxes around myself, but it takes preparation and
Absolutely.
determination and persistency.
Absolutely. What is the biggest thing you feel that you have learned or taken away from, launching these organizations?
Self-care, taking care of myself, loving Shannon, spending time with her, getting to know her. And I understand, I love her now. I like her.
Absolutely.
She's the bomb, as the old people used to say. But yeah, I love her. I love what she's doing. I love her flaws. I love she's not perfect, but I love who she is and who she's become and what she's doing and spending time with me. Because when I am balanced, I can do more, I can give more, and I can lift more. And that is what I'm called to do and I'm sent to do. So that has been the greatest lesson in my journey. And I ring it from here to there. You taking care of you, you can, when you are whole, you can give so much more to loved ones and people and community than when you are not whole. And you'll make better decisions that will affect your life and the lives of others in a positive way versus a negative way. But when you're leaking and you're insecure or you're broken or you in pain, you're not only hurting you, but you're hurting others
Mhm.
in your life as well.
What are you most proud of?
Oh, that's a loaded question right there. Growth, growth.
I love that because that's where I'm at.
Yeah, growth. I'm most proud of growth. I've grown. I've grown. The business is growing, but all of it stems from my growth, me
Mhm.
growing. So when you grow, things around you grow
Mhm.
because you impact those things. So I'm most proud of my growth, my maturity, things that, used to bother me and I'd get all ruffled about, or I want to, you know, get ready to fight. No, 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 no. I can deal with it in a better way now. My first job as a director of nursing, I don't know how much time I have, but I'm gonna tell this real quickly. Here I am in a boardroom. I'm the blackest thing in there, the youngest thing, and the CFO get in there telling me how I'm wasting money and me and them nurses, and I'm sitting up there, bust a move, come on. What, like I'm Muhammad Ali or something back then. Now, I had no business doing that, wanting to fight in a boardroom. They looking at me like, who did you just hire as the director of nursing? It's a wonder they didn't fire me, but they didn't. But I
Yeah.
grew from that. I don't handle conflict that way.
Yeah. Nah, when you're working in healthcare, some crazy stuff can happen. Uh,
Yes. So
yeah,
growth,
some
growth.
crazy
I
stuff
say
can
growth.
definitely happen. But I love your story. I love your journey. It's been amazing having you on. Near future, I would say like the next 5 years, even the next 5 to 10 years. What are you looking for? What are you looking to for your future?
Well, I am looking to launch Street Love as a nonprofit. That's something we've been talking about. And if all goes in our plan, like Miss Cat, it'll be done before the 5 years. Hopefully in 2025, that'll be fully in play. So that is one thing. I recently launched my virtual expression cards. I don't know if Brooke has shared that with you. They're virtual expression cards. They're like e-greeting cards. So if you guys need Mother's Day cards or need a little motivation or inspiration, I got birthday, I got thank you, I got Mother's Day out there and others. We just launched that. I see that in even a more fullness way. And continuing to do the business growing and continuing to give back to the community, give back to people, not just my community, but the community I consider community wherever I'm going. If the Lord lead me here, there, I want to give back. You see, I'm on here giving. oh, James, let me send you something. Let me send you something for your listeners, that you can give away. But giving back
Absolutely.
is very important to me. And with my street love, just so you know, 90% of it I fund myself out of my own pocket, out of my own business. Even though it's not a nonprofit, I give my own money back. That's just how much I believe in the work that we do.
Right.
And I have some great team of people. Aaron, my manager, is phenomenal, and some of the team members that work, Abraham, Chanel, and a few other the people that work with us here do some great work with us. So I'm appreciative and seeing that team grow.
No, I think that's beautiful. For people who want to keep up with you, website, social media.
Yep. So Living Your Life Without Limits is the website. If they go there, they can click all the social media. But you can find me on Instagram at Living Your Life Without Limits.com, Facebook. We're also on LinkedIn and YouTube. We're going to be coming back podcasting soon. But yeah, definitely Instagram and Facebook. We're very active on there. Instagram in particular, so we keep a lot of the updates on there. But even Living Your Life Without Limits. .com. We got a newsletter that we put out. You can even link our cards and see them there. But yeah, our media, we got a media page there showing you what we're doing and where I'm going. So, but Instagram is very active. So we usually post a lot of things there and announcements go out there. So please, would love to see some of you guys on there. A shout out.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. Any type of final words that you want to get out there before we end?
Yes, first of all, I want to thank you, James, for allowing me to come onto your platform, and Miss Cat for participating. And I hope I said something that will bring a little light and encouragement to you. And I
Yeah.
just want to leave this with your listeners. Something that I end with when I podcast all the time is remember, family, to love yourself, take care of yourself, because guess what? You are absolutely worth it. God bless you all.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so we will definitely do this again. And then I'll
I
make sure
love
to send you that information.
Please do so we can get out in the mail. I look forward to it.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Let me
Thank
know if I
you.
resonated with anybody of your fans. I know you got a very
Absolutely.
loyal following.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
I appreciate it again.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Cat, cat, cat.
Ooh, I needed that, man.
Listen, really, really good. I thought it was really, really amazing. She got so many gems to offer.
Hmm.
I know, and Kathy was in the comments. She said, "Preach."
Preach.
Like people are.
Yes.
Um. So what's happening, lady?
Um,
Aside from life,
aside from life,
yeah,
just yeah. I can't even say it.
I got you. I
It
got
just seemed like, I really was resonating with what she was saying. And I
you.
was catching up with the show before I got logged on,
Yeah,
while my stuff was warming up and whatever. Um, but I just really feel like it's like the short term things are going bad, but the long term things are good. So it's
yeah,
like it's gonna get better, but I just gotta trust and
yeah,
just keep working. As you guys all know, I've been pushing for my show, my podcast coming out. But it just seemed like every time I have a plan, it just, God got other plans.
I get it.
So so a
Well,
lot of things I worked on, my laptop that went out on me. So a lot of things I worked on, I got to start over,
yeah,
and it's just hard when you don't have, you starting, like she said, you starting out, you're using your own money, you're funding this stuff,
yeah,
on
yeah,
my own. And it's just like, so now another expense, but it is what it is. And like we have loyal family, friends, and fans
yeah.
that I know is in my corner rooting for me. So when I
Absolutely.
get all my ducks in a row, you guys will be the first to know when everything will premiere. But I do have some content that I will be putting out. I will be having my page, my website, and things set up.
Yeah,
So keep watching, stay tuned. But like she said, I just got to keep going. And like, bad things have been happening, but good things have been happening. That's going to set me up for long-term success. So I am proud of myself. I am thankful. But it's not where it needs to be yet. So I was a little discouraged and a little down on myself,
I
but
get
I'm
it.
not gonna do that. I'm not gonna, that's why I said she really spoke some life into me right now. I really needed that. Um, so I'm really thankful for that. But yeah, I'm good. I'm healthy. Kayla good. She healthy.
Good, good,
I
good.
can't really complain too much.
That's good. That's good. Well, yeah, I think this is where we'll end it. I think definitely a great conversation. We'll definitely do some more stuff with Shannon and then her publicist. She's been sending me different stuff, so we'll have quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, I did want to say, I did, I was watching on Sunday.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it was a really, really good show on Sunday. I will say that.
Oh, yeah. She
I was
was.
on there. You see, I was on there asking all kind of questions. I was trying to catch y'all up.
She's kind of in that same position where she'll kind of speak down on some of the stuff that she's doing, and she had a feeling that it didn't really resonate with people, or it wasn't a good show. I'm like, you don't understand. Like,
I was on there. Listen, I was
I
on
know.
there with my friend. We was on there. She like, "Ooh, ask him this. Ask him that." I'm sitting there. I'm talking about, what if I want to be the toxic one? What if I want to be the bad guy? I'm on
I
there.
said it. But no, I thought it was dope, and she came around. But
Yeah, no, she's good. I like what she's doing. And we're all starting off. We're all,
yeah,
new to this. We're all getting this stuff off the ground on our own. So we got to be proud of ourselves. But I
definitely.
definitely was feeling like that. And it's nice to see somebody else show. I really enjoy her show, and I see, host change, or this changed, or this change,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
going through those growing pains, but she
yeah.
has
I
something
think
on her
we're kind of
hands.
set now, like with with her and Kim. I think it's.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, I liked her. What is her name she go by?
she goes by K Love.
K Love,
Yeah,
yeah. So I liked them. They both had a good back and forth. Like, they could say one thing and the other person got a different kind of view. So I definitely really enjoyed the podcast. So anybody that watches Transcending, definitely I would tell you to look out for that on Sundays. It's a nice little it's a nice way to end the weekend. It was a
yeah,
nice, little cleanse on a Sunday. Sundays are for rest and rejuvenation and things
absolutely.
like that. And I'm going back into, I feel like I'm in another healing journey right now. I feel like, dang, like, I thought I was healed. I thought I
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
I thought this was scarred over. I was Wolverine and I'm
Right,
healed.
right, right.
But I feel like I'm going through another, like, really like a metamorphosis, another transition. I feel like almost like a little caterpillar, like I'm about to go in my cocoon, I'm going in my chrysalis, and I just feel like I'm in that place right now, and I know it's going to be growing pains. Like, I'm feeling those growing pains. I'm feeling those, friends that are falling off, the people that's really, it's so crazy that you could be doing something that you think is not really popping, and people could be so jealous, or they could be so mad. And I don't want to hear about that no more. I don't want to. You better not be saying podcast no more. I don't want to hear about that, or whatever,
Right, right.
and I'm really in a process of weeding that out and really, honing in on what I want to do. And
Yeah,
I don't know. I really, really needed what she had to say tonight. Like, it
absolutely.
really hit me, and I do feel a little better. Another, like a little put a little battery in my back, because I'm ready to go. Okay.
Yeah. No, I get it. I think she made a lot of sense, and it was cool to hear how she walked away from her job.
When
Um,
she said that, I was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But no,
"Where have I heard this story before?"
yeah, I think it was definitely dope. I think it was definitely much needed, by you and by me.
Mhm.
Um, so I think it went good. Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna be, sending out some different promo. I'm gonna be sharing my page on the Transcending page. So if you guys get any invites to like my page, I'm gonna be putting some different content on there. So I'm just excited. I'm gonna be talking about some different things. I'm gonna make a video about a lot of the rap beef going on. I gotta listen to all the diss, so many
yeah,
disses. I gotta sit down and listen.
Yeah, I need you to dig into that.
I don't really get into it like that, but it's
I
been
really
some
don't
funny.
either.
It's been some funny stuff. So
Yeah,
it's like it's getting a little messy. It's getting a little sassy.
yeah.
It is. It's getting a
It's just
little.
it's retarded to me, but I'm just like whatever. That's where things are today. You will be happy to know that I done messed around and got into Sexy Red now. So
Hey, I've been trying to get y'all to Sexy Red for a minute. I've had y'all. I was trying to hit y'all last summer. Okay.
how long how long she been out? How long did it take?
Yeah, she's been out about, I would say, 3 years, kind of bubbling, and maybe the last year she really popped off for real. The last year she popped.
So
Um,
it has taken me 3 years to get in there.
I
Um,
love me some Sexy Red. The thing about Sexy Red and Suki Hana and all them girls, you just gotta know what you listening to. You gotta
yeah,
really just know they here for a good time. It's just good
that's it.
time music. Don't take it too seriously. Don't read the lyrics. Just vibe. Like just party. It's for you being outside with bottles going like this.
Right,
It's that
right,
type of
right,
that type of music.
right,
So
right. No, that's dope. Well,
Mhm.
oh Lord, is this bad or what? I'm getting
Right.
old. And,
No,
um,
listen, I know we tired. We wrapping it up early tonight, guys.
yeah, it's
But
all good.
I just want to say, James, I do appreciate you, and I
Yeah,
appreciate,
I appreciate
all
listen,
that you do for us in the podcast and our transcenders.
let me say thank you first. But I appreciate you. I appreciate Tiff. Um, I think everything flows pretty good. And we continue to grow, continue to add new stuff, and it's coming along. So we will be back next Wednesday, guys. I'm actually finalizing next Wednesday's guest. So we'll definitely get some flyers out for that pretty soon. But I think it was a great show tonight. Again, thank you to Shannon Jackson.
Yes.
Of course, this video will be a constant on YouTube. I'll get it up on ugdigital.com as well. And of course, Facebook and all different social media. So until next week, you guys all have a great evening. We appreciate you guys once again. Again, make sure that you like, subscribe, follow, and share this with your followers, with your friends, with your family. Help us to get out there a little bit further.
Share it with
Any,
your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your side
whoever
chick,
you
your
got,
baby mama, everybody.
whoever you got. Any questions or anything, you can email us at transcendingtheculture1 at gmail.com, and Cash App is UG Digital. We are
And
out.
if anybody would like to donate to the Cat Laptop Fund, uh you go on and James go on and give them the Cash App and put it under for cat.
We're gonna work that out. we absolutely gonna work that out. All right, y'all. So we'll be back next week, and y'all have a good